Hello, 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 and welcome to the Growth Mindset Show. This is another episode. Welcome to the show. My name is Mahesh and I'm your host and also your friend. If you have any questions, ask them here right now. Today it's a little bit change in the pace. We have changed the time. I don't know if you realize. Last time we were doing this show at 12 noon. Now today is a little early on Saturdays, and the reason is that a lot of our people they requested the time change. It's better for our also our audience and everybody users and who are from India and other countries. Plus for US it's fine. It's 10:30 a.m. Looks like people are joining us. Bhaskar has joined. Bajrang Bajrangdal team member joined us. Welcome. Very good. Rohit is here. Uh, Piso, what is it? Piso X Devil. Well, okay. Well, there you go. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Siddharth joining us. Prakash is joining us. Welcome, guys. Welcome. If you are joining us first time, let me start with this. That this show is all about you. Here we take different topics, and today's topic is focused on AI and how AI is going to impact your jobs. If you are in IT, especially, we are focusing on IT. If you are a computer science student or you are soon graduating from computer science or you are a programmer, a developer, IT lead, project manager, we are going to cover all this thing. A lot of people are joining us, guys. Good evening, Kautilya from India. Welcome to the show. What also I like to do in this show is get some feedback, get the questions. My goal is to answer your questions. That's my main goal with these shows, right? I'm not here to teach anything. I'm just going to share what I think and what industry is telling us, and then focused on answering your questions. So everybody looks like a lot of people joining us. Ritik, Bitu, so many names. I can't even go through the list today. All right, let's get this our slides going on. So, what are we going to talk about in this show today? This show we are going to talk about impact of generative AI, Gen AI, on IT and software jobs. If you are in IT, even you're trying to get into IT, either you're a college student graduating recently, I mean, you just recently graduated or graduating, how it's going to impact your job. That's what we're going to talk about. As you all know, this show is brought to you by CSharpCorner. CSharpCorner. If you are not a member, check it out. Even though the name says C Sharp, it's not really C Sharp anymore. It's a community for all kind of software developers and IT folks. So if you are in software and IT industry, you could be a project manager, you could be a lead, you could be a DevOps, you could be a iOS developer, AI developer, anything you are. This community is for you. What can you do on C Sharp Corner? Well, you can learn latest, new updates, what's going on in the industry. In like this show, you can also ask your question. There are forums there are jobs there. Um, there are videos, live shows, free ebooks. We do a lot of conferences. So check it out. Check it out. Um, if you are a new member here, guys, if you are joining us first time, just shout out that you're first time here. We may also pick actually couple of people, couple of questions. We'll take your questions from here, and then maybe we'll give a couple of questions, maybe give some kind of prize in the end. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to, the way it works is the show is this talk. My talk is about 15 to 20 minutes only, 15 minutes only. And then I'm going to take a lot of your questions. So any kind of questions you have, anything about questions, that's where we will take and talk. They take more questions. And then Simon is working behind the scene. He's the man behind this production of all this show. He's going to decide some of those questions, and then we run through this program and pick the winners. Um, all right. So I'm sure by now everybody has heard of Copilot, Chat GPT. Those are the two major. Google Gemini. There's a lot of more. Gen AI tools are coming up. So how is going to impact your job? First thing people ask is, will AI steal my job? Right? I see this question a lot. Will AI steal my job in coming times? So in long term, I say yes, yes. But in short term, AI will replace you if you don't learn AI. That's what it is, right? Um, it will. In long term, the reason it's going to steal jobs is going to kill a lot of jobs. AI is going to automate so many things that there's not going to be a need for so many people, especially in software development and IT, which I will explain in here. But in short term, it's not going to replace you. But if somebody is using AI to do the things you do, that person will replace you. So that's, you got to think about this, okay? And that's what we're here to talk about. So when you think of IT, there are different kind of jobs in IT, right? There's system admins, network engineers. Obviously, there's computer science students. A lot of you are joining me here. Welcome to the show again. Thank you for joining. There are junior developers, there are programmers, software engineers, senior developers, Scrum Masters, QLEs, DBAs. So AI, this Gen AI is actually going to impact all of these jobs in a big time. And it's already impacting. As a matter of fact, there are already tools being developed where I don't need a programmer. I don't need to hire a programmer to build my entire application. I can use these tools and talk to my Gen AI, say, hey, Gen AI, I'm looking for a website that's going to have a login screen. It's going to have a database in the background. It's going to take input from the registration screen, and it's going to register users. So I can build the whole thing without writing a single line of code. This is already happening, guys. So if you are a computer science graduate or college or student or just starting in IT, I want you to start learning these new tools, start learning what AI is and what are different tools. If you're writing code by hand, most of them is still writing code. It's good for learning, but you got to start using AI. I'm telling you. So great. Keep those questions coming. That's a lot of good questions, guys. Keep coming those questions. But I want you to ask the real question that's really bugging you. The question that's on your mind almost every day. It could be anything about jobs, career, AI, non-AI. It doesn't have to be AI related. I will try to take more and more questions. So back to this. So if you are a student or junior developer, how can you use AI? And the reason I'm saying is you need to learn Gen AI and also in-depth AI if you can, but not everybody's going to have time or resources or to learn, you know, basics and fundamentals of AI. But you can still learn some of these Gen AI tools that are easy to learn. They are really free, and you can start using them. What it will do is it will going to make you more productive. It's going to save you a lot of time. If you are productive and you are taking less time to build the same code that somebody else is doing or deploy the same application that somebody else is doing, all of a sudden you're already ahead of the curve with everybody. So if you're a student or junior developer, what can you do with Gen AI? Well, first thing you can do is you can start learning programming using this. So when you learn these new programming or say building your new app, you can now use Gen AI as your friend, as your co-pilot, as your buddy, code buddy. Like, rather than coding yourself, you can now talk to Gen AI and you can say, oh, could you help me build this algorithm for sorting these two numbers? Or out of sudden, your code is written, and it can be written in anything, right? It can be Python, it can be C++, can be C Sharp, it can be React, Java, anything. These chat GPT, Copilots, these Gen AI, tools, they support almost every programming language, every major programming language. Okay, so what it will do is you just get that code, and now rather than going to Google and copying the code, you can do the Google too, but you don't know sometimes the Google copy code is how old it is, who wrote it, is it secure, is it high performance, is it up to date, and so on and so forth, right? So that's the problem with, so but with when working with these Gen AI tools like Copilot or Chat GPT, or Gemini, Google Gemini, you can just clearly say, oh, I want this code written in certain ways, and then it will help you. It's like you're talking to some person. Think of that. Start using these tools as your assistants. That's what you should. So you will become more productive. You can also build complete application. As I mentioned, you can say, oh, can you build a calculator application in Python? It will write the whole code for you. It can do, can you build me? So idea is wherever you're taking time to write code manually, you can replace that with Gen AI. That will save you a lot of time. Once your code is written, you take the code, copy in your editor, and then rewrite or fix the way you like. You can do all that. What else can you do? Well, you can obviously auto-complete code. Means if you're typing, AI can now, auto-complete rather than you typing, it can complete. I don't know if you guys use Visual Studio or not. There's a Visual Studio, VS Code, and there's Copilot. Copilot's so amazing. I had already in my session, last week, a week before, I had a session on Copilot. Check it out. CSharpCorner has that. In Copilot, you can write almost every code you can imagine. It can write for you, and it will help you become more productive. Everything is all about productivity. If you today, I guarantee you, if you become more productive using these AI tools, you will get job better than anybody else there. So, but if you are still typing your code and so much typing and taking so much time, somebody using AI to do same thing in less time, guess company who's going to hire? Company is going to hire the person who's much faster, more productive, right? What other? So you can use Copilot in these GPTs to comment your code. You can write your unit tests, right? You can ask them to fix bugs. You can update code. Update is very important. For example, if you have a code you just wrote or you copied from somewhere, but you don't know what version of that code is, and let's say you are working in Python or you're working with C Sharp, and right now C Sharp, let's say I'm working with C Sharp 12. I can now copy the code and say, hey, Copilot, can you rewrite this code in C Sharp 12 for me and make sure that it is high performance, there are no bugs, and so on and so forth. So you can literally use Copilot or these Gen AI tools as your assistants, and they can do all work for you. You can compare code, you can convert code to different language. For example, you found some code sample but it's written in C++. You can say, can you convert this to Python? It will do that for you. Everybody, good evening, welcome to the show. Looks like a lot of people are joining. I see Rishabh, Rupesh, Iqbal, Uttam, a lot of people are joining. Welcome to the show. um, I see a bunch of student ambassadors for CSharpCorner joining. Welcome, guys. You are amazing. You guys doing an amazing job. Can't wait to see you and meet you in person in October. We are doing this big conference in October where I think most of our CSharpCorner student ambassadors are going to be invited. I would love to meet you guys in person. Um, Great questions coming up. There's a question coming up. We will take these questions in few minutes. I'm almost done with this. It looks like a lot of questions, and I want to take more questions here. So Copilot is very also great in code quality. And when I say Copilot, it's all Gen AI tools, not just Copilot. You can use Chat GPT for that. You can use Google Gemini for that. Those are the three major ones, right? Microsoft's Copilot, OpenAI's Chat GPT, and Google's Gemini. Those are the three I use a lot. So you can do a lot of things, right? Um, if you are a Scrum Master or Project Manager, what can you do with Gen AI? Well, you can automate your meeting summaries and action items. So I don't know if you guys know that, but Microsoft is already integrating this Copilot in Teams. So when in Teams, if you're doing your Scrum meetings, you're doing your calls, everything now AI can automate those things, including your meeting summaries, who joined. There are questions between meetings, they can answer that. They can also generate daily stand-up reports. They can automate scheduling, resource allocation, documentation. How about documentation? How many of you like document your code or write about what your code can do? You can use Copilot or these Gen AI tools to rewrite write the whole blog just for your code. You can just paste the code, or within your IDE, you can say, hey, can you write a blog for my code? It will write blog for you. So, so many things you can do here. And if you are a QA and tester, you can also use these tools as well. You can generate your test cases, you can automate your test scripts, you can run regression tests, you can also implement the whole CI/CD using these Gen AI tools. GitHub is already actually doing it. If you are a DBA, that's another space. If you are a DBA, you can automate a lot of your tasks. For example, a lot of DBAs, what they do manual tasks like backup, restoring, indexing, disk fragmentation, query optimization, all those things. AI now can be used to automate these things and generate the report and send it to you. How good is that? So now we will take these questions, but I want to explain one more thing. If you are a student, looks like a lot of students are joining. How many times you find some code, or you copy code from Google, search in Google, and then you try to understand that? This is what you can use these Gen AI tools also for. You can take the code and you can say, hey, can you explain this code to me? And Gen AI will actually explain this code to you. If you don't know how to do that, I have a previous video on CSharpCorner on Copilot. You can just go and watch it. In that, I explain everything. So check that out. So that's great, guys. Let's take some questions. Look like we have a lot of questions coming up, and I wanna, Simon, you can start highlighting these questions, and I'll take from there. What is the impact of Gen AI for C Sharp Corner website? Widgets would have drastically reduced by now. So great question, Jaya. Amazing. Thank you. Yes, not only C Sharp Corner, but all the websites, they are used to, learn basic programming or help question answers. They have all lost. A lot of widgets definitely have gone down. uh, so that's one part. But C Sharp Corner is more about just content. Now, what we are doing is we are launching very soon more like a community where we are more about learning, sharing, also build these tools and programs for our members so they can grow in their career. So this is more about just saying, hey, can you write this code for me in C Sharp? Those days are gone. Gen AI can do that right now. As a matter of fact, in coming time, if you're already using Visual Studio ID and Copilot, you don't even need to go to Google anymore and search anything. It can do everything for you. So yes, great question. Um, but what we are really doing is we are trying more focus on building our members growth focused. Everything is growth focused. Means you're going to learn, you're going to become a leader, you're going to learn how to speak, you're going to learn how to present, you're going to get certification. So we are building this a another next generation of C Sharp Corner is coming soon. I think we're testing the platform as we speak. um, okay, great. Let's take another question. Abhay says, is there any roadmap to get into the big company or successful as a software engineer? So, Abhay, yes and no. Roadmap, there's no fixed roadmap, to be honest. The reason is everybody's different, right? Everybody's different. So, if you're trying to get into big company, for example, Microsoft and Google, I'll give you this is the trick how you get into these companies. Every time there's a new technology comes out, there is always less and less people. Let me repeat this again. Every time a new technology comes out, there are always less and less people, and they are in high demand. And that's where these companies hire, especially Microsoft, Google. So, for example, Gen AI is a big thing right now. Everybody's into Gen AI. Microsoft is hiring, Google is hiring, Adobe's, all these companies from one line. Everybody's hiring AI developers on all the areas. They are hiring like Python guys, they're C Sharp guys, .NET guys, Copilot guys, developers who can use these tools. So what one thing you can do is yourself is go to LinkedIn. You can go to LinkedIn, and we are actually on C Sharp Corner. We are also posting these new jobs, what Microsoft is hiring. Go to LinkedIn, which is free. You go there and look at Microsoft jobs, look at Google jobs, whatever company you want to join, right? Go there, look at, see what kind of jobs they are posting, right? If they're posting a jobs about DevOps and you are into that space, then figure out what's matching your skill set. If you are just a developer graduating, what area you want to go, you can see a list of those jobs, and that's where you know what they're hiring in. And if you are the one of the guy has a little bit more, you know a little bit more about these things, any of new technology than anybody else, you will get hired. So that's the trick to get into these big companies. To become a successful software engineer, that's really just keep working, keep learning. That's the two things: keep working and keep learning, and you'll become successful. There's no secret, there's no shortcuts, right? In this space, think like I always tell people, like you're trying to grow a tree with, I don't know, banana tree, or let's say mango tree. There's no shortcuts. You still have to go through certain hoops, but what you can do in IT, in this is software engineer, is more time you spend learning new technologies, doing more things, faster you will move. Great questions, guys. Keep those coming. This is great. Thank you everybody for joining. Looks like a lot of people, more people joining us. We have really a good number of audience joining us. um, how would you approach a project if resources are limited? That's a great question. If resources are limited, I think AI can help you big time. When you say resources are limited, I'm not sure what kind of resources are limited, but at least if you are doing coding and you say you have less number of programmers, AI can actually help you do those things much faster. If you master Copilot, I guarantee you, excuse me, I guarantee you, if you master Copilot and its features, if you are using four programmers to write the same code for 3 months, you master Copilot, it can do by one developer. So out of sudden, you don't need three more people. And that's where I'm saying, when I'm saying that it will kill your jobs, AI will kill your jobs, it's not going to kill the jobs, it's going to reduce the number of programmers or developers or DevOps or network engineers you will need to do the same job. In other words, there's going to be need of less human resources, because AI is going to replace at least two-thirds of them, or full third fourth of them in coming time. More and more this AI evolves, more of these jobs where you are doing same thing again and again, they will be replaced by AI. And I'm not saying there's not going to be a need of human, it's always going to be need of human, at least in coming few years. But the more humans will be needed, more people will be needed in newer technologies, because that's AI. Gen AI can't do that. Gen AI works on historic data only, right? For example, AI field, Web3, all those, there are newer fields coming up where that's where you will need more jobs. You will see more jobs coming up. Great questions, guys. Keep those questions coming. I'm amazing. You guys are great. Hopefully you're learning something. How to integrate Gen AI tools in our projects. What can I learn? So if you have existing projects and you see a Gen AI use case, I'm not sure if you're using to build. There are two things. So some tools already have Gen AI built in. For example, if you are using a Visual Studio or VS Code or one of those JetBrains IDEs, you can download Copilot plugin. Once you download that, by the way, it's free, but it's actually paid. So Copilot is a little bit paid, but you don't want to pay. If you're a student, you can just use Copilot online, copilot.microsoft.com. You go there and you can type your code, or you can ask it to write your code. That's one part if you're just trying to use that. But if you're trying to integrate Gen AI in your projects, I'm not sure. That means you have to use one of the OpenAI APIs, which are paid. So you have to use Gemini. There's a bunch of APIs out there. There's we have AGI. Alpine Gate has their own. So there's multiple products out there. You have to use it. That's where you will. We are actually, matter of fact, in CSharpCorner, we are integrating AI everywhere. So Jay asked question before, how CSharpCorner is evolving, what's going to impact on widgets. We are going to have our AI trainer, AI mentor. They are also going to help people, drive their growth. So we are kind of using AI in CSharpCorner project. The only thing is it's a paid one. So you have to be ready for paid. I don't think there's a cheaper one. There's Free ones are probably not there. There are not too many of them, but even though they are, eventually they'll become all paid. All right, this is good, guys. Keep those questions coming. Amazing. Okay, what are some ethical considerations surrounding AI in hiring, best practice workplace automation? Yeah, so there's a lot of ethical considerations. It's because all the AI code generated is from public repository, right? For public repos, for example, if Copilot or Chat GPT is generating code for you, it's probably coming from GitHub repos or websites. So some code is probably copied. I mean, not when AI doesn't copy really code; it just reads from it. It creates its own code. But sometimes you can see the sample code is exactly copied from, say, my websites. Other day I was searching a piece of code and it actually gave my code to my me own in which I wrote it. The reason I wrote that code because the names I put in my code were my friends' names. So it was suggesting all code written by me, which is by the way 20 years old. So what you have to do is when you get this code from Gen AI, you have to make sure if you really want to fix things, you want to rewrite that thing. Go use Gen AI to learn from you, learn and also understand the code, and then say, "Can you rewrite this for me in my way?" So you should have your own style, but you don't need to write it manually. You can ask AI to rewrite the way you like. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is you don't definitely don't want to use AI generated code in products which you are going to resell or license. You can use for your own project. So you're building your website, you're building your company website. You can use Gen AI, no problems. It's legal. There's nothing illegal about it. Even though code may be copied from somewhere, there's nothing illegal about it. But if you are building a library or a product or a some kind of tool or some kind of software which you may resell to somebody, license to somebody, you should be very careful with that, at least for now. All right, let's take more. There are a lot of questions, guys. That's great. Prakash as well. Hopefully, you guys learning something today. I know it's late. A lot of you guys are from India and girls are from India. Hopefully, you're learning something. Prakash question. Prakash asks, how can I use open source AI projects to learn and get noticed in the industry? This is a great question, and it has many questions in one question actually. So first thing is you want to learn open source AI projects. So learning is really you have to go there. There's a AI communities out there. There's CSharpCorner is adding more AI projects. Learn. So learning is you just have to go. You can even ask AI. You can go to Chat GPT today, I bet, or Copilot, and say I want to learn open source AI. So what are the different websites or places I can learn? What are the GitHub libraries or projects I can get involved? It can help you there. And how to get noticed in industry? That's a little tricky question. If you want to get noticed in industry, and I think I have a video just on that, you have to build a profile. I'm going to answer this quickly. You have to build a public profile. These days, when companies are hiring, they when you send them a resume or even before resume, they look for your public profile. What is public profile? Public profile is your LinkedIn, your GitHub. In C Sharp Corner, we are building C Sharp Corner so that your profile will become your resume, and it's going to have history of all your work. So you have to, number one, be member there, and whatever work you are doing, you have to share there. You have to speak about it, you have to write about it. And a lot of people actually from C Sharp Corner, they start writing on C Sharp Corner, they start sharing their code, they start speaking, they became Microsoft MVPs. They got even more visibility in that industry. A lot of people wrote books, so they got even more visibility. So it's about building your public profile. I think I have a video already on this topic on C Sharp Corner. It's on YouTube as well as C Sharp Corner website. All right, Kautilya asks which type of AI project student can prepare during college to impress company officials in interview. So you have to think about when the company is looking to hire interns or students. They at this stage they really it's not they care about the project. What project have you done? They really want to know, are your fundamentals clear? What kind of work has you done? What is your problem solving skills? And then they will focus on anything that they are really related to their hiring. So I wouldn't worry about what kind of type of project. It could be any type of project. I don't think type of project really has anything to do, unless let's say a company really hiring someone for a specific industry. Then they, if you have some knowledge in that, it's a plus. But as a student, I don't expect you to be have a project based on we are hiring. All right, guys, let's keep going. These questions keep coming. A lot of questions. In C Sharp website, cannot build the community team and group chats. Yes, that's a great question. PySoX Devil. Okay. Yes, I think we are coming with this. Again, as I mentioned, we are bringing the same LinkedIn kind of features. So we are bringing community teams and group chats there. Thank you for mentioning this. It's in our roadmap. Unfortunately, it's moving slow. We need to start using our Gen AI to build code for us ourselves. That's a little problem is that with the Gen AI is that if you have an old and complex and big project, it's not that easy to use AI to write add new features to that. That's the challenge, which is over time is going to fix. But if you have a new project, you're starting a new project. Let's say somebody's, you're trying to build a library management system for learning purposes. That's actually perfect. When you start thinking, how can I use Gen AI to build the whole thing with less handwritten code. So this is challenge for all of you guys, everybody, students, especially if you're learning. Try to go use one of the tools. It could be Copilot, it could be ChatGPT, Gemini, it doesn't matter. Try to write the full complete application using just instructions and see how far you can go. I have done this amazing things, like you can literally um, do a lot of things there. Um, One other challenge I want you to ask you guys that if you do come up with some of these challenging solutions. If you say, oh, I built this solution using I want you to come and talk about that on this show. I will invite you guys. You just let us know, and I want you to share what you did using Gen AI. Did you complete the whole cup, and how much time it took you? What percent of code you wrote by hand, and what is generated by this Gen AI? Take that as a challenge. All right, let's take more questions. How do you think AI will influence AI? So eventually, over time, what will happen is AI will write. I mean, today I can already write Flutter code or React Native code. That's number one. I can just ask AI, hey, can you add a new module to my existing project where module will do this? Can you add, I don't know, whatever module is, it can write code. So it can write your code samples, then you have to take that. It's just helping you right now. Right now, it's helping you to not write too much code manually. Take the code and you fix it in that. That's one thing will start. But over time, I think the tools they are already doing there, they will use AI. You don't have, as a developer, you probably use a little bit, but the tools will end up using AI, and it's going to rewrite the whole thing. I can see that, and very soon, AI will write your whole application. So you can say, can you build in mobile app using React Native, which has login feature, registration feature. These are the fields. It should have a welcome screen, home screen, a data feed. Once you say all these instructions, I bet it will write the whole application for you. It's coming. um, One other thing, when you think about Gen AI is all about prompts. So prompt is the input it takes, and better you are in prompt writing, more you teach Gen AI about the context in your role and what you're doing, better answer you will get. So on C Sharp Corner, I have written a detailed article on how to write effective prompts, effective chat GPT prompts. They are same as Gen AI prompts. Go check it out. That's very important when you're talking to AI, is learn about prompts and prompt engineering. And you don't have to learn any technical details. All you have to know is how to train your AI. First tell him what you're doing, what your roles, what the context is very important. and then you explain. So, all right, any more questions? Let's keep going, guys. This is already 11 o'clock. We'll continue this for a few more minutes, take more questions. Uh, what is the future AI using blockchain technology? So blockchain technology, yeah, there's a big role of AI. So blockchain, when you think of blockchain, it is a database, right? It's a decentralized database store on different nodes around wherever, different locations. And then there is software running managing those nodes. But blockchain itself has a lot of problems, scalability problems, security problems, all that. I think AI is going to, they're already helping. AI is going to help uh, speed the transactions up, maybe manage the resources right way, take care of security, look for frauds, and it can do, depend on the how what the blockchain is doing, what's its purpose is. AI can be used in different ways. AI can help big time. Yeah, for example, AI can literally just go and monitor the fraud traffic on a blockchain before it's being actually submitted to the blockchain. So yeah, applications are unlimited. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of new projects coming out. They are web blockchains, but now they are integrating AI in it. AI just automates a lot of things which you don't want to do manually. And AI also, for example, if there's a blockchain, let's take an example. There's blockchain that it's a blockchain about some content. AI can, before content is submitted, AI can look for, yeah, is this content allowed? Is this the verified content, rather than some manually work going on, or some you're checking in the code. AI can be doing much faster by using these public models, right? Okay, so let's take more questions. I think yes, keep asking questions, guys. We have time. I think we are moving pretty fast here. Speed is good. Speed is good. um, uh, So I'm a CSharpCorner student ambassador, and I'm running an IT services startup. My goal is to digitize small business with the power of technology. So I request you to guide me. Yes, Swastik, definitely. We are always guiding, right? We will have a startup show. Um, Anything, that's what this community is all about. Obviously, we all have very limited time. Remember, we all have our own full-time jobs. We all have families, and then these are the things like this we do just for fun, and for part time, and for depend on, sometimes sometimes I have this show but I can't make it. We still have jobs and companies to run. But yeah, and through these programs you can come and ask questions. We also have a plan to launch a show just around startups, really, which again, I just never got a time to start another show. um, All right, let's take a few more questions. We have more questions coming up. There's the Priya asked question is, what emerging job role exists in AI within IT? So this is a great question. There's a lot of jobs in AI in IT. I think the simplest job you can do without learning AI is learn Gen AI. Gen AI is a part of AI which it's already built. You don't have to build Gen AI. You don't have to build AI. You don't have to know anything about AI, to be honest. You have to master the Gen AI. So think like it's like a if you become better and more productive in writing applications faster than anybody else, you will be hired before anybody else, right? So that's what I just mentioned in this whole show is all about. If you learn Copilot, for example, Copilot is your assistant. So rather than you writing L code by hand, your 80-90% of code is now written by in seconds and minutes. Not even minutes, in seconds. Out of sudden, the code you will write and you think about algorithms and you do all the things all day. Now you can do that in just minutes. So out of sudden you are super powered. You are 10x developer. So that's one thing you can do easily without learning AI. But if you are looking for long term and you like AI, you want to get AI and data science and machine learning, Those are the three major areas. That's where there's a big job growth coming up right now. Every company is hiring in there. So then you're gonna go to basics and fundamentals of AI learning, and there's a lot of courses out there. I think CSharpCorner is launching an AI course also. I think Rohit is here. He will tell you when the course is coming out. We are launching our own AI training as well as the course for developers. For developers in different disciplines. So if you want to learn from fundamentals or you want to just use from high level. So, all right, take more questions here. X Devil ask is in the future what type of job creation related to AI/ML. So AI/ML is in almost in coming in every field, guys. This is a technology. It's not something specific to a job, but depending on where you are, if you are a computer science student, I think that's what I just mentioned. um, Once you understand AI and ML, it just they're different algorithms. They just apply different things, right? For example, you may work for a company where they are shipping, right? This is a shipping company, so you have to now think how the AI you just learned how to automate certain things, how to use AI in the shipping industry. So it depends on the company. If you're in banking, right? Banking AI can be used, machine learning can be used for fraud detection, right? So it's just matter of time. But when you think of AI's ML, it's like a big field. It's like you can say, "Oh, I want to become a programmer or software engineer." Yes, you can become a programmer, and there are a million ways to do that, right? You can be a front end developer, back end developer, full stack developer. In front end, you can be a Java developer, you can be a Windows developer, you can be a ASP.NET developer, you can be React, Angular developer. Back end, you can have different things going on. Databases, same thing. Databases, there's so many things going on. So it's just a matter of time, but start learning something. Don't think too much, guys. Don't plan too much. Don't think, oh, just start learning new things. AI, Gen AI, and do something every day. Once you learn every day, a little bit, you will see that you know so much and your growth is amazing. All right, we'll take a few more questions, guys. And I think, Simon, we'll close this in 2 more minutes. Let's take a few more questions. um, and then you can announce what about the impact of AI in computer vision. Yeah, so computer vision is a lot about automation and processing. But I think AI is going to speed up all those in coming time. I'm not a big expert in computer vision, to be honest. I did work on some. I haven't looked into what exactly how is you, but to be honest, anything that computer is doing faster in AI vision, image processing is a big thing, right? AI is playing a major role in this already to speeding things up, right? Because AI now, rather than manual processing all the instructions, can they take from some data it already has and make the quicker decisions. Will AI make, there's more questions here. Kautil asked a question. Will AI make a large impact on career and educators? Yes, and big time, 100%. It's gonna change. Here's one more question. Which type of AI project student can prepare during college? Yeah, we already did that. Will AI make a large impact on career for educators? Yes, big time. So AI will become the educator, to be honest. So a lot of these YouTubers who are creating learning content, there's going to be less demand of trainers and educators. That's already known. um, for example, in coming time, you won't need a trainer, you won't need an educator. AI can educate you. AI will become your trainer. AI will take the job. I don't need i don't need a trainer to teach me Python. I don't need to go read a YouTube video. Unless you like YouTube video watching, AI can actually teach you all that. It's going to be a big impact. It's going to change a lot. Training is something, especially not the high, not the detailed deep training, but like especially coming time, I can use today, right now, as of now, I can use today, if I'm a student, Copilot to teach me all the programming which a person will teach in live. That's how we are there. All right, guys. I think we did amazing. We did a good job. You guys asked a lot of questions. Thanks for staying me here. This is a weekend. Hopefully, you guys enjoy a weekend. Hopefully, you learned something. You learned something from this show today, and it'll get you going. And you go home and try to start learning new things. Remember, learning every day. Learning something new is very important. Doesn't matter what you learn, and eventually results will be there. So, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you again next week.